Greetings, everyone, my people. I know say many of you na that Thomas now na be. I know they believe until na see for na eyes. I want you to come and watch this video. Another new Biafra war is loaded, and they are now perfectly in the right time. So I want you to pay good close attention while watching this video, because this video that you're about to watch will be a great eye opener to you, so that you will get prepared for what that is about to come. A heavy rain is about to fall, and this new Biafra war that is loaded is going to be between the west and the east. In as much as you are not an Hausa man, you are not a Yoruba man, my people, come and watch the video and get prepared, because it's about to happen. The evidence is everywhere and they cannot hide it anymore. That is why the secret leaked, and we are here bringing it before you to get prepared. Come and watch the video so that you will not be told they are evil, cannot swallow us. We will keep exposing them. Enjoy. I'll be right back.
The judge is Yoruba. The prosecution team, all of them are Yoruba. The Attorney General is Yoruba. Mr. President is Yoruba. It appears that, for some elements within the Yoruba, community are looking at this as a new civil war between the Yoruba and the Igbos. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, but you're the one who's saying that.
No, but it's the reality.
No. Well, I mean,
it is the reality, Charles.
It depends on how you interpret.
No, but it is the reality.
Right.
Who is superintending the prosecution of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Is a Yoruba judge. It's not an Hausa.
So you're saying that there is.
Who is the prosecutor? Is the Yoruba prosecutor? Who are the prosecution team? Yorubas.
So you're saying that
the Attorney General is Yoruba.
Are you saying there is a conspiracy, or there is the perception of a conspiracy? Which are you talking about?
If you look at the way it is going, and they are resilient and adamant in seeing that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not given adequate provisions of time, adequate facilities to ensure that he has adequate provisions for his defense. So if you see how it is going, one may have the perception that it's a conspiracy of a few Yoruba people against the Igbos. So that's the impression that is out there. It's not just me that is talking. I mean, how can you expect somebody? You are saying that, okay, you have ruled so that you cannot go back. Every other thing will be done in presentation of your addresses, and then you have a holistic judgment.
Anyway,
who does that?
Yeah,
there are jurisdictional issues that needs to be.
Well, I'm not holding brief,
and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not holding brief.
But I'm not holding brief for anybody. But I don't think it's fair to make an allegation against a set of people when you haven't got a scintilla of evidence to support the point that you are making.
Charles, I just gave you an instance. Excuse me, sir. I just gave you an instance.
Speculative.
The judge is Yoruba. The judge is Yoruba.
It's not fair.
Well, it's not fair for the injustice that is being meted on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu.
Anyway, let me ask you, but it was also a strategic move that's been known to backfire. So, as we mentioned at the outset, how did it come to this? What would have driven Mr. Kanu to fire all those high-powered lawyers that make up his legal team? With more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the member of the House of Representatives under the Labour Party, the Honourable Obi Agwocha, who was in court when today's drama unfolded. Thank you very much indeed. Good to see you again.
I'm happy you know that I'm a Labour man.
Yeah, well, you are, but I'm going to get to that bit because
Labour for life. I'm not wearing my Labour insignia here. But
well, I'm going to get to that because there is another drama that's unfolding. In fact, you're in the central. I mean, there's drama with the Nnamdi Kanu, there's drama with the Labour Party, but we're going to get to that in a minute. But you were in court today when Mr. Kanu, for want of a better term, purged his legal team. How did it come to that?
Well, he had discussions with the legal team yesterday, and all of us were shocked when we came to court, and the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation previous, Kanu Gabi, announced to the court that himself and the legal team, especially those of the Inner Temple, are withdrawing. And the judge also was shocked and asked Mazen Nnamdi Kanu about it, and he concurred that for now that he would take charge of his defense. Doesn't mean that if tomorrow an opportunity arises that lawyers will not also be part of it. So, but for today, probably tomorrow, he would take charge of his defense. So that's what happened in court. And
were you surprised?
I was pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly or shocked?
Well, surprised and shocked at the same time. In terms that none of us knew about it. I came to court, just like I've always done, attend the court hearings and all the stuff, and I sat there listening. I kept making the contributions. It's just between Mazen Namdekalo, the prosecution team and the defense team, and the judge. So as of today, the lawyers have virtually stood down. Whether they have given Mazen Namdekalo his case files, I do not know. But when you go to section 36(6)(b) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which are actually a crucial provision towards fair hearing, specifically to persons who are charged with criminal or capital offenses, is the constitutional right of Mr. Kanu to decide to take over the defense of his own case. It is also his constitutional right that adequate time and facilities be provided for him to ensure that to ensure that he has adequate defense.
Yeah, but I don't think the issue is whether or not I mean, I think everybody knows he's got constitutional that right, which is why the judge allowed it. But the question is, what's the thinking behind it? I mean, you know, things aren't going well when you fire the people who are supposed to protect and represent you in a trial, don't you? I mean, did it appear to you to be an act of sort of visceral rage, impulsive, chaotic purge that wasn't well thought out? Or do you think he thought it out?
If you look at the statements made by the leadership, Agabi Kanu, he said after the meeting they had yesterday that the information was told them that they were going to be debriefed and that they respect the rights of Mazen Namdekalo.
No, I understand that, but I'm trying to get to the backstory.
No, that's what I'm saying. But if there was anything that happened otherwise at that meeting, I was not in that meeting. I only showed up.
But I mean, you would have heard things. I mean, you talked to him. You guys normally hug each other at the end of the trial.
We sat
at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, we sat close.
Did he whisper anything?
No. But at the end of the day, he was actually, he was actually led through the judge's chambers, to be evacuated back from the Federal High Court to the detention center. So we didn't have enough time to discuss in court. To say, because he's often brought to court 10 minutes to 9, and the judge comes out exactly about 9 dot. So there wasn't that much of a time beyond the camaraderie.
I mean, we obviously saw the statement. I was actually hoping that we would hear that clip from the lawyers,
from the
lawyers.
They
made a public statement, which has been run on Arise several times today. But I mean, is there anything beyond that public statement that might have said perhaps in out of camera to you?
No, nothing yet. I've yet to be informed otherwise. But I know that tomorrow he may be meeting with...
Usually the decision by someone to fire his lawyers and represent himself tends to be a tactical move. It's sometimes used by defendants hoping to challenge the system. I mentioned that at the outset, and potentially gain an acquittal. They believe that by representing themselves, they can control the narrative and create reasonable doubt. But that strategy has also been known to backfire. I give you one example, and it's probably an extreme example, and I don't mean to kind of link it to Nnamdi Kanu, but if you remember the mass murderer in America called Ted Bundy, who was eventually executed. I mean, he got in, his lawyers were trying to arrange a plea bargain for him to get 75 years in jail, in other words, life imprisonment, and he got angry and fired all of them and said he was going to represent himself. And he ended up being found guilty, condemned to death and executed because he did it himself. Whereas the lawyers had already made a plea bargain arrangement which would have kept him alive.
Well, let me tell you something, though. I don't know Ted Bundy, but I
don't know him either.
But I know Nnamdi Kanu. If you were in court today listening to Nnamdi Kanu, you will come up with the absolute impression that this is a very cerebral man. He understands the law. He also understands the challenges that are facing him.
So you think he got a better shot representing himself than the people who have represented him for quite some time? Senior advocates of Nigeria.
He made a decision.
Yeah.
He made a decision with the lawyers yesterday, which included the senior advocates of Nigeria. I'm sure they gave him proper legal advice, and I'm sure that he listened to all their suggestions to him, their briefings to him.
Igbo, ekele m unu. Ọlọlọ Nneka Chimezie na-ekwu, anyị na-ewetakwara unu ọnọdụ Igbo. Ebe anyị nọ ugbu a bụ na Kuje Magistrate Court. Unu ga-ahụ na n'iro ka anyị nọ. N'iro ka anyị nọ wee na-eme vidiyo anụnwa biko ekwe dị anyị bịa nso ebe court nọ ya fọzikwa n'ịgbago ebe a na ndị polisi ji moto ha na ihe nọchi ụzọ. Onye mini ya na ebe a na Madam Princess nwanne Maazị Nnamdi Kanu onye nke eji nwanne ha ọ ga-eju ọnụ ya gwa unu ihe ha na-agabiga kemgbe Monday emere protest. Now is on record na maka ihe na anyị pụtara ka anyị protest ya Nigeria niile pụtara ka protest ya maka ojiji eji Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. On Monday ndị uwe ojii wee nwụrụ Maazị Emmanuel Kanu na alọya ejumakọ bụ lọya Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, and Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ga court ụnya nya gịnị ka eji wee nwute ha na ha mere protest. And Igbo ọ na-ghọtakwa na this our president benefit ya wụ onye isi protest o benefit from protest. I am a build up to 2012 to 2015 mgbe a na-akwado ime election ọ ha mere protest emere ha allow ime protest mana gọọmenti a egosigo na ọwụ military rule ka ọwụ ada ekwu okwu ada eti ọnụ. Now Nnamdi Kanu na stand the trial maka ihe ngịnị ọ sị na a na-emegbu ndị Igbo ya achọ ka a na-eme ndị Igbo mana ọ bụrụ na achọkwa ndị Igbo ka ha hapụ ndị Igbo ka ha la. This is basically ihe Nnamdi na-alụ and ihe awụ for the interest of Igbo niile. Gịnị ka m ji hapụ ihe m na-eme dị ebe a to show solidarity. O gwara m anya oge mkparị na South East wee chọpụta na the federal government and state government tinyere aka n'ihe gbasara IPOB ka ha nutu IPOB wee kpaa mkpamkpa n'ala Igbo na IPOB aka ha anọghị n'ihe mere n'ala Igbo. Mgbe ahụ ka m ji decide ya na ọ bụ na Nnamdi Kanu na ezinụlọ ya na-ata ụfa na m ga-apụta nye aka wee tinye ọnụ. Ihe ala ka mgba nwanne ya nwaanyị ọtụtụ ajụjụ ọnụ ka ọ gwa ụnụ ka ya na ije si na-aga. Nne biko gwa Igbo afa gị.
Aha m bụ Princess Nnenna Kanu.
Biko ụzọ anyị na-emere protest nke m nwachụrụ m agbakwu mma tia gas. Ọ ga-ejidere Emmanuel nwanne gị nwoke ya na lọị. Kedu ihe asị ha mere?
Ha sị na ihe a na-akọwa n'ọhịa ha mere na a na-akụ egwu ọdịnala n'ọwa egwu agha ka ha na-agụ. A na-ajụ kedu egwu agha ọwụ ha na-agụ ọwụ free Nnamdi Kanu ọwụ hapụnụ Nnamdi ka ọ laa ya wụ egwu ọwa na-agụ. Ha sị na ọwụ na a na-agụ egwu agha ọ dịghị ihe ọzọ ha dị.
Okay. Igbo bụ Igbo a na-agụ n'egwu agha ebe a na-eme protest ọ na bụ egwu ebe olili otu ka egwu ka a ga-agụ. A ga-agụ n'egwu ngosi iwe ngwa ka ejidekwe na ha abịazini ka ebe lụọ ha. Gịnị kpatara na ndị ekwebe ha hapụ ha kemgbe Monde?
Ihe mere na hapụ ha wụ na ihe awụ nkata akpara akpa ha kpachara ya kpuchie ya na ma onweghị ihe ọzọ. Ejide Prince Fineboy Kanu ejide special counsel na ọ ga-eme ihe ọbụla ha na-ekwu na onye ndu ga-ekweto bet ha makwana na onye ndu ahụ na Chineke kere ya nwa dị iche na nke kere anyị nwa n'ihi na ọ ma na ihe ọ na-eme ụjọ adịkwana gị ya. Ibu m onwe m n'ọhịa ụjọ adịghị m n'ihi na ama m na ha ga-apụtakwa onweghị ihe ha mere. Ọ kwa otu a ka ha chi zoro ezoro kpọrọ ha pụọ ha gwa gị any of the lawyers si ngwa lekwa ebe a na-aga.
Mgbe akpọ ha na-aga ụlọ ikpe kwesịrị ịgwa lawyers zie ozi na agawala ụlọ ikpe ka enwere ike ịkpọpụta na lawyer ga-edefend ha.
Akpọghị ha ibu mgbe akpọrọ Maxwell asị m mgbe mụ na onwe m kpọrọ Maxwell asị m na ihe mere na ya na-aga ebe a ka a ga nata ha ebe a ga-enọ kpe ikpe. Erute ebe ahụ the man asị ya don't worry before na mana ihe na-eme and ekele dịrị nwunye Prince Emmanuel Kanu kele dịrị nwaanyị ahụ ọ na-agbalị ihe nwaanyị a na-alụ alụ Favor Kanu nwaanyị a na-alụ alụ. Ibi na onye makpọrọ m sị m na m lele na m gawa sịla Kanu kwuje gawa ebe ahụ ochikwa ebe ahụ kpọzie
nọ na ahụ na tanda
kpọzie Maxwell si ya ngwa anyị na-agba n'ụzọ tikitiki wee rute ebe ahụ ya n'otisi na ha ekpechara ihe dịghị Britain space ihe ama
bifo na-abịara jọji ka asụkwa na akpọrọ ha bịa kọt na jọji ihe ka ha mkpa wee kpọpụ ha na nga ọwụdọrọ ka ekpe ikpe na ekpekpe ha na nga. Oke ka a bịakwanụ kọwara jọji ihe kpata na onye ọkaikpe esoghị n'oke ihe jọji meziri.
Ihe jọji mere ọ sị ya ga kpọta onye kpọtara ha ebe a wudi prosecutor ka a ga-akpọta ya echikwa ebe agbara gawa ibụrụ Mandela ewere akwụkwọ gawa ka ga-asa abụọ ha sị na ha agaghị ewe ya
oke mgbe jọji na-ekwusi oke ebe ọ bụ otu atụ o si dị sọnwụ na-enwe ike ịsa abụ ha akwụkwọ ha kwete na ya ga-asaịn dị bel bọnd kwa mana ndị prosecutor ekwe ha egwe so gosi na ihe ka ha mkpawo ka ejichie ndị a and n'uche nke ma ọ na-awụ ka ha frustrate the protest for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Igbo bụ Igbo, onye Igbo ọbụla n'ebe ị nọ oge eruole mgbe anyị ga-elite a ga-akpọ protest ọzọ nke ga-awụ mega and nke ewu nke a ga-akawa anyị ga-akpọ ndị Naijiria oku ọwụzie na Naijiria anyị ga-akpọ ma ndị Yoruba ma ndị Hausa ihe awụzi ihe gbasara Igbo ọwụzie na ha azaghị anyị amarazie na ihe awụ nkata kpara akpa maka enwere ka anyị si na-anụ na ndị Yoruba na ndị Hausa kpara nkata oge eruole mgbe ndị Igbo ga-elite tinye anya na mmiri wee mata ma echi ya enwere nkata akpa ma enweghị nkata akpara mana efo na nke a ndị Igbo lite ka unu gwa the federal government of Nigeria na egbu onwe ehu amara onye mụrụ ya nụ oge eruole maka na o doo anyị anya na Nnamdi bụ onye nwere the information about the jihad a na-achị ime na Nigeria wee tiwa ya Nnamdi bụ anyị maka ọ na-azọ ndụ na ebubo niile a na-ebo Nnamdi nwoke wee blackmail lụọ ya maka ndị sị ha chọghọ Biafra anụ m ka Soludo na-asị na ya ọka mma na ya nọ na Nigeria ka m jụọ Soludo na anyị ga-aka prosper enwere nwa ya nọ na Nigeria Gọvanọ Soludo ajụjụ m na-ajụ gị n'ụbọchị taa enwere nwa gị nọ na Nigeria ha niile nọ n'obodo oyibo ichichi akịta na iburu ego gawa obodo oyibo den ụmụ onye ga-anọ na Nigeria ụta Nigeria na ọdụ mma kama unu ga-etinye ọnụ kpawa nkata mara ka a ga-esi wee meda ụmụ unu obi unu a na-enyekwu the federal gọọmenti moral ịdị na-akpagbu ụmụ unu nsogbu anọhụ Igbo bụ Igbo ana m arịọ onye ọbụla n'ebe ọ nọ lite ka anyị tinye ọnụ hụ na nkata ha kpara maka ịtụ Nnamdi Kanu nga adịghị na mmezu. Ndewo.